Legend of Vox Machina Season 1 was one of my favorite things that came out last year, especially on Prime Video, which has a lot of underrated shows. And I thought that it went under the radar, but I'm glad enough people watched it for it to get a Season 2. Season 2 is back. It dropped on January 20th, this past Friday, and they gave us the first 3 episodes. Does this season start off as slow as the first season, or does it start as strong as the last season ended? Before I answer that, remember to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you can be notified of my reviews, reactions, and ranking lists. Now let's start off with the good. Season 2 picks up right where Season 1 left off, where the heroes were in Iman, they were getting celebrated, they were having a giant big party for saving the realm. But then dragons, a flock of dragons, come to completely eviscerate Iman and destroy almost every human that was there, and our heroes barely escape with their lives intact. That first episode left the heroes wondering, can they defeat this overwhelming evil? Can they muster somehow to luckily defeat something that they did once in Season 1, but now it's a whole flock. Dragons usually not liking each other, not sticking together, now in a group called the Chroma Conclave, something that has never happened before. Can these unlucky heroes do it? That's what the whole first episode was about, and I really, really enjoyed the intensity of the first episode and the kind of the ticking time of like, okay, what are we going to do? What do we do? This is not something we can lollygag around. And that's what I think that this season, with these first 3 episodes so far, is starting off stronger than Season 1 did. I love Season 1, but I felt like the first couple episodes started off a little slow. They're kind of meandering a little bit. But this one got right into the business of like, who's the evil? What's going on? And with the episode 2 and 3, they really showed what the journey is going to be like in order for these heroes to Vox Machina to take on these dragons, but what each individual character arc is going to be for the group itself. The complaint I had in Season 1 was that it didn't feel like it focused too much. Like it focused a little bit here and there on Percy. It would focus a little bit on the elf twins, Vex and Vox, and a couple of the characters here and there. But toward the end of the season, it would really focus on Percy and his journey and what he needed to get done for his character. But this season, it feels like they set up each character, especially Grog, who didn't get anything in Season 1, to get a character arc to grow their characters from their childlike demeanor that they have, still have the jokes, because that's a big part of the show, but have them become more powerful and also grow as characters and get over some of those insecurities. In episode 3, it was really laid out as they met their first person or first being that's going to help them, a ancient Sphinx who makes them face their greatest fears and really deal with the things that are holding them back from being the heroes that they could be. And I really like that they pointed out all the different things that the characters have to get over individually to really elevate and go to the next level in this show. But also what the show did was drop little things here showing like different things with relationships, like Vex and Vox. They delve deeper into their past, their childhood, and we see why they're so codependent on each other. Grog and Pike, even though they didn't do a lot yet, you can see that there's something growing there for her concern for Grog and this new sword that he took from the vampire from last season and how it might change his personality. And just the other characters like Percy kind of like wondering what's his place in this group and in the world, because he thought he had all this stature, but he might not. All those different things are seated in the first 3 episodes to show you that this is going to explore all those things, or hopefully explore all those things, and really have like a great plot about defeating the dragons, but a great story about how these characters need to change. And even though, everything I'm talking about is about intensity and story arcs and plot, Vox Machina, the thing that makes it stands out is the comedy. The crash, crude, hilarious comedy. Something that it just hits me. If you like Family Guy, if you like American Dad, this is Dungeons and Dragons mixed with that. It feels like a bunch of friends doing a Dungeons and Dragons, but they're so hilarious and the peril is real. And obviously, Critical Role, which is another show of some voice actors that are actually on this show as well, are the ones that created this from their Dungeons and Dragons campaign. So you can see that chemistry, you can see that camaraderie through the dialogue and how they joke around with each other. And there's a lot of laugh out loud moments in these first 3 episodes. One in particular where the group has to transport from one place to another, and they're not sure where they're going, and as they're free falling, and Scanlan uses magic to create like butt cheeks for them to land on safely. And that, I don't want to say what else happened, but the gag was pretty funny. And he's a standout. Him and Grog are always pretty funny in the show. And they're only are they having like serious moments, but they're still hilarious as well. And just them as a group together is always going to be jokes. So if you're worrying about this show getting too serious and not having the jokes, it's still there. And there's a lot of weird things that happen in these first 3 episodes that go unexplained, why they're happening, but they start foreshadowing things that are probably going to come in the following season, beings that Vox is seeing, but they haven't really explained what it is. And it might have foreshadowed a major death in this episode 3. And I don't want to spoil who it was. If you know who it is, let's talk about it in the comments below. But I was shocked that it was going to happen. Hopefully it's reversed, but if not, the show is taking the intensity up to another level, and the peril is certainly real. So overall, I love the dialogue in a lot of this, especially when they're doing the humor or they're having a serious moment. But some of the passing dialogue, when they're going from place to place or having like filler moments where they like are just walking, have some cringy, really generic one-liners that you can see in any fantasy book, generic fantasy book or show that make my eye roll, because such moments is like you have such good written moments throughout the show, especially when, you know, the humor comes and also some more emotional moments. But these one-liners just really just take me out of the episode sometimes, because it comes like one after another, one after another, one after another. And a lot of them are not funny. And the animation, just like with season 1, is still really good. I love the hand-drawn animation that they have here, mixed with a little CGI here and there. But they have the dragons, this Chroma Conclave, all CGI dragons, and I do not like it. There's another show I really like that did this in Dota Dragon Blood on Netflix, and I did not like it there, and I do not like it here. It's even worse here, honestly. I don't like the feel. It feels like it's a little bit off-putting, and it's not in the same show. It doesn't mix and meld perfectly. So obviously they're going to keep it like that for the rest of the season, but it's really not my kind of thing that I like. And speaking of the dragons, the leader Thordak is voiced by one of the best voice actors doing it, Lance Reddick. He's a great actor, great voice actor. He's been in a lot of things. He's in my favorite video game of all time, Horizon, with voicing Silas. He's perfect in that, but I think he was severely miscast as this dragon. His voice and what the dragon is saying and doing doesn't fit really well. His voice and texture feels like an evil genius kind of character. I know he plays those characters a lot, but he always feels like a character that's a little bit more non-aggressive, more scary because of his genius and what he could do, instead of just being this aggressive dragon that's spitting fire and trying to rule over the world. So I felt like his voice didn't fit the character, even though he's just a great voice actor. But yeah, his voice with the other dragons, because the other dragons their voice fit them, but his voice just doesn't fit his character. I'll break down my verdict in 2 parts. Who is this for? And should you be watching it? And and also how I overall feel. So who is this for, and should you be watching it? If you have already seen season 1 and loved it or even liked it, you should definitely check out season 2. There's more of the great characterizations of the characters that we love in Vox Machina. The humor is there, the action is there, still brutal as hell. And the story feels like it's going to be a little bit more tight. The plot feels like it's generic, but it's pressing forward and it's intense. So they're executing it well. But if you've never seen Vox Machina or kind of heard about it and not too sure you want to watch it, it's basically like Family Guy, American Dad, and that type of comedy mixed in with a Dungeons and Dragons high fantasy show, with characters that are really lovable, bunch of misfits getting together trying to save the world, with really, really good voice acting and good animation. So if those things sound interesting, you should definitely give the show a shot as well. And how I feel overall, I am elated by how these first 3 episodes came out. They kept me engaged throughout. I like the new characters that they introduced. I like the old characters that they brought back from season 1. I like that we got to visit some of the season 1 locations. It really got me excited for this season, and that's what premieres are supposed to do, make you excited to watch the rest of this season. So I'm excited to see. They do 3 episodes drops each week, so I'm excited to see episode 4, 5, and 6, and I will be reviewing those as well, because this has my interest. I'm super excited to see how the story and the plot plays out. And with that said, I'm going to give the first 3 episodes of Legends of Vox Machina a B+. Did you like it? Did you hate it? What would you rate the first 3 episodes of season 2 of The Legend of Vox Machina? What were your favorite parts? What were your least favorite parts? Do you agree with my likes and goods, or do you disagree with my dislikes and what I thought was bad? Drop all those comments down below. And if you have not seen Legends of Vox Machina, it's weird that you're watching a season 2 review, but if you have not, let me know if what I'm saying makes you feel like you're going to go binge watch season 1 and try to catch up to everybody else, or you're going to pass it on by. Like the video if you like my review. Subscribe to the channel because it helps the channel grow, and hit that algorithm and hit that notification bell so you can be notified of my reviews, reactions, and ranking lists. Like I said, I'm going to be reviewing the show week to week. I review The Last of Us week to week, so if that's a show that you're interested in as well, that's going to be coming soon as well. I think my episode 2 review should be dropping the day before this review comes out, and I have reviews for movies, trailer reactions, and all those things that you definitely want to see. So you get more of my content right now.